But I was disappointed when they asked him whether or not he'd run, and he said, I have no comment, because to me, when you say no comment, that means you're running. And we took it, I think I took it quite seriously, and it doesn't matter now because he got out.
So that's water under the bridge now between
totally. As far as I'm concerned, look, he endorsed me. You know, he endorsed me, and we have policies very similar, actually. I think those people will all come to me.
Donald Trump exclusively telling Fox and Friends he's confident DeSantis voters will give him their support after he dropped out yesterday.
Sean Hannity joins us now to expand on that. So Lawrence sat down with the president. Steve was on the road with Governor Haley.
Saw that.
So, Sean, first off, welcome.
Well, it's great to see you
Good to see you in person.
I think we meet here once a year.
Yeah, every 4 years.
Usually we have a marching band wake you up.
By the way, I was trying to play the drums, and the kid didn't want to give me. I felt like I was trying to steal. I felt like I was stealing his, I don't know, favorite toy. It made me feel horrible.
His mom's he's gonna go.
I know.
He's gonna say.
He was like,
what?
no, I'm not giving you my drumsticks. Not happening.
Right. I don't blame him. They always say don't give up the microphone, too.
Yeah.
You just pointed out when you sat down, did you see the insider advantage poll?
62-35. This is Matt Towery. I've known Matt for decades. He nailed Iowa, had Trump at 52, had DeSantis and Haley tied at 19, was very close to that number. So whenever
and that poll was taken after DeSantis dropped out.
It was taken, it was a poll, I think he did over 800 people. Right. So if this is anything near true, I would argue that if President Trump tomorrow night wins by double digits, although to be honest, a win is a win. If he wins in New Hampshire, there were expectations with Governor Sununu endorsing Nikki Haley that might be, you know, helpful to her. But if you look at the size of the crowds he's been having and the rally size and these polls, I mean, there's not a single poll that came out last week except ARG, which they won't even count in the Real Clear Politics average.
Right. ARG came out and they were, Trump was 46, I think Haley was 44. With the polls all over the place.
No, that's the only poll that doesn't have Trump up by double digits.
Right.
The only one.
That was my point. I was just saying what it was.
But fake news, CNN, I don't count them.
But the X factor is all of the independents, because here in the state there are 300,000 Democrats, 300,000 Republicans, 400,000 independents. If they all show up, they're going to make a big difference.
It definitely is a possibility. I don't happen to I love the people of New Hampshire. I love the state of New Hampshire. I don't like their system, what they call an open primary, where people, you know, they were switching in the last number of weeks from Democrat to independent.
October 6th,
so they could wreak a little havoc inside the Republican Party. Their thinking is, okay, if we help one candidate, in this case it would be Nikki Haley, get over the hump, then, okay, that's more money that whoever the inevitable Republican candidate is, it seems like Trump by a long shot. I think if Trump wins this tomorrow by the margins we're seeing, it is over. I think a question for Nikki Haley, who I think ran a great campaign. Ron DeSantis ran a great campaign. All the Monday morning quarterbacks don't mean a thing to me. He went to all 99 counties, Ron did, in Iowa.
Ultimate retail politician.
Retail politician, and he went out, he asked people for a vote. In any other year, what did he have, 21, 22%? That would be a great showing in Iowa. Right. But this, I keep saying about Donald Trump, that he defies all conventional political gravity.
That's an understatement.
Right. That says, well, to you
Why
it is.
Is that all
What's happening to you, Steve? Are you moving to the left on me? What are you doing?
I am screen left right now.
That's true.
All the court cases, all of this that's happened to Donald Trump, is that helping him?
It certainly, that's where it defies conventional political gravity. You would think somebody gets arrested or somebody gets arraigned, that, oh, your poll numbers are going to go down.
But it's all by Democrats, every single case.
And we saw that in Iowa in the exit polls. 80% of the people of Iowa, smart people, salt of the earth, and they see through this, starting with the Russia hoax, impeachment 1, impeachment 2, 51 Intel, former Intel people lying about Hunter's laptop, charge after charge after charge. They see this for what it is. They see it as purely political. And, we've got to be careful as a country, because if we don't have equal justice under the law and equal application of our laws, we don't have a constitution. And it gets to be that serious, or we weaponize and use our law to criminalize political differences. Another bad idea.
when Alvin Bragg was the first, they said that was the biggest miscalculation by the illegal offensive on him because they realized it was the weakest case. And the last.
By the way, do you even know what Bragg's charges are? Because I don't think anybody knows what his charges are.
You know what? He knew there shouldn't be charges. He walked away from it. The White House put some legal person in there, and they said, go dig up the case and go charge him. And then that SUV line goes in, he comes out, his poll numbers go up, and every candidate is forced not to talk about their policies. Donald Trump, and the last one was Colorado. When Colorado kicked him off the ballot, if you watch the other channels, every Democrat goes, oh my goodness, you just gave him jet fuel. Because everyone knows it's going to get kicked out of court, and it looks totally like you're afraid to fight him.
It's so funny you're saying this because Trump at one point said, "Oh, I'm just one more indictment away from winning, by a landslide."
Right.
It's been overkill. Yeah.
Sean, Lawrence interviewed President Trump last night, and Lawrence, I think you can hear us, right?
Yeah.
Is Lawrence on with us? Okay, listen to this sound, and then we'll bring Lawrence in so y'all can talk about it.
This new approach of unity. Do you feel like it's going to be effective with winning back those independents and even some of those reasonable Democrats?
You know who you sound like? Sean Hannity. Right?
He's my mentor.
He is your mentor. He loves you. But you sound just like Sean Hannity.
Were your ears burning?
It did make me laugh. I'm not going to lie. LJ's laughing, too. Well, to be honest.
Yeah, I text you right at the end of it. I go, Sean, he says I'm just like you now. I can't escape you.
You are trapped forever. I don't know what to tell you. Here's the thing. If he wins by a large margin on Tuesday night, where we are in New Hampshire, which is expected and all the polls show that, if that happens, if that unfolds, I mean, Insider Advantage this morning was a massive poll. If that happens, he then becomes the nominee. And I think at that point, the party better unite because we see what life has been like under the Democrats and Joe Biden. I cannot be intellectually honest and think of a single good policy that has benefited the American people.
Yeah.
Not one. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago?
I was talking to a bunch of independents yesterday, and I said, why are you breaking for, and they were at Nikki Haley events, why are you breaking for Nikki Haley? And the primary reason was because of Joe Biden's policies. A lot of them had voted for him.
Yeah. What policy is working? How's it looking down at the border lately? That's going to be one of the biggest national security, disasters.
Have you seen the Middle East?
It's getting worse.
It's worse in my lifetime.
When Donald Trump left office in the Middle East, he had forged together an alliance that nobody thought possible. Right. He had Israel, the U.S., the Saudis, the Egyptians, the Jordanians, the Emirates, and they were all at a level of friendship and sharing intelligence against Iranian hegemony. Mm-hmm. Joe Biden comes in office, he turns a blind eye. Iran is selling their oils on the market again. They're getting rich. They foment more terror. They're the #1 state sponsor of terror. Mm-hmm. And then he wants to give him $6 billion. And that didn't work out, so he ended up giving him $10 billion when he allowed Iraq to pay a bill.
Let's make it 20.
All right, we're going to see you tonight at 9 o'clock. What are you doing in between then? Judge General Jim
I got this little radio show. It's on about 750 stations in the country.
You're going to do that?
I'm going to do that tonight.
Yeah, okay, from New Hampshire.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Sean, you want to read what's coming up next?
All right, up next, Bill Hemmer, Dana Perino for what's coming up at the top of the hour. And by the way, I'll be on their show tomorrow.
Man, he's busy.
That's such an introduction, and we are
Brian.
honored. We are honored. Thank you so much.
Hey, guys, good morning.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.